how to generate income with cinematic music. This is the topic that we discussed in the last class we did with 500 students. It was a 2 hours long class, and towards the end of the class, 400 of them still stayed in the room. So this is one of the big classes. You can see me at the beginning. I'm a little bit nervous to see so many people in one Zoom room. I generally do like smaller groups, but it's a very interesting class. People loved it, so I brought it to you today. I hope that you enjoyed. All right, everyone, can you guys hear me? Yes, give me a thumbs up. All right, fantastic. It's great to see you all here. Today we're going to be talking about generating income with music and what exactly this means, what type of income. We're talking about full income, and it's great to see some of you here. So many familiar faces. Thanks for joining. So what type of income, full-time composer type of income? Well, let's draw a line here. Money versus passion. This is a kind of like rhetorical question, but are you here because of I want to make tons of money, number one, or is it because I love music, I love composing, I wish this would bring a steady income that allows me to live comfortably so I can do this every day? I'm just gonna say that if you're here because of I'm here because I wanna do a ton of money, you can leave this room now. Because if you're here because you wanna make money, I don't know, just become a real estate. I don't know if real estate agents make a lot of money. I don't know. We are here because, again, we love what we do. Would you agree that we are here because we are artists? We love composing, but we would wish like, some of us, sometimes we have had to have like a part-time job or a full-time 9 to 5, and then we do composing because of what we love, but it still doesn't support us. What I'm going to be sharing with you today is like how you can be a composer, compose full-time and make a full-time income as a composer. Now, my job in this class is for you to believe it is possible, because we get to a point, sometimes we are like 0.1% of the composers actually get there. So it's hard, it's difficult. I'm not going to ever get there, so I'll settle for something else. My biggest effort in this presentation, this class today, is for you to believe that this is possible. And I'm going to show you the tools and the process and the frameworks and the how. And also, I'm going to show you that it's easier than it seems when you've got everything that you need. Now, before we move forward, who here feels like, as a composer, like how many of you feel confident? You know what? I'm a composer. I compose great music. My music sounds freaking awesome. Sounds great. I'm a sounding composer already. Let's go, right? Obviously, I know that you're very humble. But how many of you feel like, yes, I'm ready. I just want to know how to monetize this? Because some of you already have this craft. Let me know. Fantastic, great, awesome. Second, who here still needs a bit of help with the music? Like composing, orchestration, mixing, mastering, production, work to speed, yes, okay, cool, fantastic. Or maybe beginners in the room, like it's perfectly fine. So I want to do this, I'm a beginner, all right, fantastic, awesome, some hands up. That's great, it's perfectly fine. I will solve this for you, okay? I'm gonna explain to you exactly, like if you're a beginner, how to get started fast, efficiently, so you don't have to spend years or decades studying music, and then how to start monetizing your craft. So let's get started. As I said, composing, soundtrack ready music. Let's just use this term. Let's call this when something sounds great, like I can compose music that can make money. It's industry standard or soundtrack ready music, okay? We're gonna call it this way. So we're gonna talk about this, how to compose soundtrack ready music, the fast way to get there. And then we're going to talk about how to make money with the music that you compose, even if you've never composed music before and without having to. And so here's the thing, what we're going to be talking about. Most of you already know how to make money with music. You just call. You just contact, you go to IMDb Pro or Variety or whatever deadline, and you just contact these people and hey, I'm a composer, I know that you're doing a project, or send a cold email. And to wait for it to happen. This is the old way, and it works, but there's another way that we will talk about. What I'm proposing here is that we learn the other way. So without having to send music to library music sites or reach out to producers or directors or for projects or opportunity. Instead, they will contact you. And I know how this sounds. I know this sounds crazy, but you'll see. Now, again, note number one, down here, this will not work if you just focus on the money, because you'll get bored at some point. We're here because we love this, because we are passionate about music. And second, we're going to be talking about orchestral cinematic music. This is not hip hop. I don't know if these techniques would apply for hip hop, pop, etc. All right? Now, the difference between barely making it as a composer and true success. When I say true success, I talk about magical things happening all the time, like I got this project, I don't know where it came from, or people keep contacting me, or so many projects and opportunities that you don't even know where they're coming from, more money than you need, etc. You know what it is? The difference between barely making it. Barely making is like, I'm a composer, I got the project now, and then 6 months later I get the next one, but in between, there's no income. The difference is you becoming a brand. What is a brand? A brand basically is like when you say John Williams, you know who this guy is.
and not just who this guy is, but also what he represents and the type of music that he writes, right? And that's why he contact them. And sometimes they will contact Alan Silvestri instead of John Williams or Hans Zimmer or Danny Elfman, just because they are different brands and they represent different things. So when I talk about the brand, yes, I talk about like, you just say the name, right? You exactly know what they represent. And I show you how to create a brand and what it'll do for you. This is a picture of, I think it's 2020, first time that we hit $1 million in 1 year from music. And this is something that obviously in an audience like this, composers, musicians, we're here for the craft. Showing something like this is a little bit risky because we are not here for the money. And it may seem like we're here with a photo like this, that you may be here because you want to make a lot of money. I just want you to see the power of a brand and what can it do for you, and I will show you exactly how to get there, the thing that you are seeing with the tools that I'm going to show you, okay? For some of you, you may be thinking this is gonna be hard, this is gonna be complicated. This is very simple. Literally, I'm not gonna read this, but let's move on. But here's a little bit of proof of the whole thing. Sometimes I'm gonna be talking about Momentum. Many of you know what Momentum is. Momentum is our coaching program, not promotion. Actually, Momentum is closed for enrollment at the moment. It's just examples. Because what I'm gonna be sharing, because you need proof to see that what I'm saying actually works. Why proof? Because again, I'm gonna be sharing concepts and ideas that you may have not heard before. So I need you to stay open, but that's why sometimes I'm gonna show proof, like this is working for these people, for these other people, right? There's no momentum pitch at the end of this class. It's pure value. The goal of this class, again, soundtrack ready music, okay? For those who still need or the workflow, the production or the confidence. We'll talk about this. Once we've got this, we will talk about how to generate income. Now, the problem, you might be thinking, this takes years to master. The answer, let's be honest, is yes and no. Let's just discuss this real quick. Let's get it out of the way. If you wanna get like the kind of the Stravinsky level or John Williams, I'm not comparing them, but at that level, obviously, yes, music is a lifelong, takes an entire life to master, and you will always be better. Next year, you'll be better than the past year. But for you to be able to compose soundtrack-ready music that sounds good enough, music that's great, that works for projects, that can make money, doesn't take that long. In fact, we've been doing this for so many years. We've got the students, and the students will explain this later, but we do this in a matter of weeks, months. Momentum, for example, it's a 6 months program. At the end, you're ready. But not at the end, where we've got people getting projects in month 2. Now, just to contextualize this a little bit, I wanted to explain my journey, that you don't have what it takes. Just real quick, many of you in this room know me, but for those of you who don't know me, just so you can relate that if I could do it, you could do it, you can do it as well. I'm from Spain originally. I studied in music composition in Spain, 15 years conservatory, the whole thing. I started very young, age of 4, right? The whole thing. My dad, my parents, they said, you know what, you can write good music, but you will never be a composer. Like you will not, this is just a dream. Like you will not live as a composer. And I was like, what? Gonna prove you wrong. I studied composition the first day. I was so proud. I composed my first piece of music. I showed the music to them, and the teacher said, this is crap. Like, this is real bad. Like, you may as well stop here. Like, your music, they are going to, like, the exact same thing that he said. Put this on a drawer, because no one is ever going to play your music. And I was like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. So I'm a little bit like this, I react. So don't confront me. So same teachers 5 years later, he said, you know what? You're actually pretty decent. You could maybe, like, for the type of music that you write, feels like film music. You should go study at USC, film scoring master. Told my parents, and they were like, it's $72,000, so ain't happening. And I was like, it's happening. So I got on a scholarship, I got on a scholarship after like 15 rejections. And with the scholarship, I applied to USC and they rejected me again. So I applied again next year. I applied to Berkeley, they rejected. I applied to so many, they rejected me. The second year, I got accepted. Now after USC, I'm from Spain, so I migrated to the US. You get a visa to study, a student visa, and then after that, they give you the OPT extension. 1 year for what? For one, you get credits, make money because you're gonna have to pay the lawyers for them to process your visa, but you need credits. So that's exactly what I did. I got the credits, I got the lawyers, but I didn't have enough money, and I had to go back to Spain just to hear my parents say, I told you so. And I was like, no me gusta, nada, I don't like this. But my wife and I, We worked as teachers. We saved some money. I taught piano. I taught film music to small groups. I even started teaching at Berklee. Made some money, exactly $12,000 that we were able to save in like 5-6 years. And we moved back to LA in Los Angeles, 2016. 3 months later, we are broke. We have no money. Almost ready to go back to Spain. Again, just to hear your dad say, I told you so. But this time, no, it ain't happening. So I took an idea of a course. I was teaching at Berklee. I had an idea of a course. I presented it to Berklee, right? It's like, we've got the idea of this course. It's going to be amazing. It's going to, like, orchestral mocha production. And they were like, nah. Like, yes, but no, like, not right now. Maybe in 3 years. And I was like, oh my gosh. So Ali had the idea. It's like, why don't we launch the course out there? We launched the course. We enrolled 12 students. Long story short, started with a few students. Then it grew. We recorded with Hill, all these people. Chris Young, Spiderman, Conrad Pope, John Williams Orchestrator, Dennis Sands, all this good stuff. Grew to more than 10,000 students. We've run every test. At this point, I've taught a little bit. Like, I've been teaching since 2010 at Berklee, so 12, 13 years. That's ancient in internet years. And what I can tell you is that the most important thing so when I see people succeeding, like we've got, like this room is big. We've got 400 or 500 people, and I am so blessed, and I'm so honored, and I'm so humbled, and I appreciate you being here, because I know that time is the biggest asset that you have, and I appreciate that you are paying attention. That's a lot. But I also can say that we have had lots of students, and what I've learned, those who get the biggest results generally is those who, there are 3 elements, in my opinion, that make the biggest difference. Number 1, practice. Like, you can read a book if you don't practice, or you can, I'll share you with in a second we'll talk about the composing side of things. I'll share with you a few slides. You can read the slides. If you don't practice, it will not make a difference. Would you agree with this? You can read the Walter Piston. Still, you won't know how to orchestrate. You have to orchestrate and put your music in front of an orchestra. And then you're like, fuck, I was this doesn't sound like the way I expected. So you have to practice. The second thing is like when you're like, I read the Walter Piston, I put my music in front of an orchestra, sounds like crap, what's going on? You're gonna need a mentor. The second thing is that you're gonna need a mentor, someone who has done it before you, right? Like, how many of you would agree that if you had someone that will help you along the way when you are stuck, that would be helpful? A mentor. And the third thing is this, what you see right here, right now, it's a group of people that are going the same direction. Because sometimes you just get stuck, sometimes you just procrastinate, or sometimes, but when you have someone in your group that gets something that you want to get, things happen inside. Like, people ask me, how did you get your first movie? I was like, cold calling. It's like you cold calling? Like, obviously, I'm an introvert. It may not seem this way here, but I'm an introvert, right? I can do this for a few hours, but then I need to go back to my room to recharge my batteries. But I got my first movie cold calling. I did hundreds of calls. How did you do this, Mark? If you are an introvert, you don't like this. Well, it happened like this. I was at USC, 20 people like this, right? And one of my classmates, they got a project. I will not mention his name, but he was like, hey, Mark, I got a project. It's like, I was like, congratulations, what about? Yes, it's this video game. We're going to be recording in Abbey Road. And I was like, what? Yes, there's $200,000 budget for the orchestra. We're going to be recording. It's an 80-piece orchestra. We're going to be recording 2-3 days. And I was like, where's my phone now? And then that's where I started doing all the calls, right? Sometimes being in a group like this helps. People will be encouraging with you, and sometimes they will challenge you just because the things that they're getting, and you're going to be like, if they can do it, so can I. Now, moving on. We talked about this, mastering versus soundtrack ready, invest in yourself. What we have learned, invest in yourself, surround yourself with people, practice, everything flows when you gain momentum, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's get this started. So my commitment is make the most out of this hour together. Your commitment, again, is to be open-minded, because I'm going to show you the exact same things that you have to do so you get projects like some of our students, right? Like Matthew Fisher, like Natalie Bond, like Medhat. Awesome. So let's start with the first part. So let's talk about music first. For those of you who still need the confidence, who still need a little bit of the skill, or those of you who are beginners. And then we'll talk about the money side of things. Composing any type of music, orchestral music, cinematic music, different styles, action, high intensity, suspense, horror. Every style is different, but it becomes easy or simple. I'm gonna say simple, because easy, it feels like, skipping steps, but simple, step by step sort of thing when you know the how, meaning knowing what to do. So we're gonna introduce you to concepts. Some of these concepts, some of you maybe have already heard, and some of these concepts for some of you may sound or may feel like, oh, this is so simple, it cannot work, okay? Just again, be open-minded and listen, pay attention. So the 5 musical forces, first of the things. Now, when we talk about music, sometimes we make things more complicated than they are. The problem is when we study music is that the way we study music traditionally, it's going to be, okay, we're going to learn harmony, then we're going to learn orchestration, whatever, counterpoint, all these things, right? And then we try to put it all together, but then we're like, okay, I'm composing music for this scene, for this movie. It's like, how do I do so it sounds like this? And then you know how to compose music, but you don't know how to combine the different elements for your music to express that specific mood. It feels sometimes you make things too complex, sometimes you make things too simple, and sometimes you get writer's block. Let me introduce you the 5 musical forces concept. This is super important. So when you listen to music, there's always 3 elements that you're going to be able to identify. Those are direction, movement, and background. Then we've got enhancers and bass. So I'll keep it short, and so I'm just going to explain the first 3. But direction is, you're listening to a song, you're listening to a cue, you're listening to cinematic music, there's going to be something that catches your attention, something that creates direction. Sometimes it's a melody, yes, but sometimes a crescendo, sometimes it's a glissando, sometimes it's a swell, whatever it is. It can be short, it can be long, but there's always the most important element that creates direction, that moves you from point A to point B. Anything that creates that tendency, something that leads from point A to point B, a melody, harmonic progression that creates more tension as it progresses, increasing, decreasing orchestration, density of thickness. This element makes the listener feel that the music is progressing from one point to another, from point A to point B. Cool, very simple. Second element is going to be movement. Are you talking about rhythm? Are you talking about percussion mark? Yes, that could be movement. Movement is like that element, that moving forward energy or force that makes the music move forward. An aspect of the music that creates flow or action, a rhythmic pattern, for example, harmonic progression that repeats or modulates, call and response between instruments or families, etc. This element creates motion and also aids the creating direction. These are very important. Hey, Scott, good to see you. Long time. I'm sorry, it's like... I'm so happy. I'm having so much fun. It's so good to see some of you here. But movement, all these elements are very important to understand, and this because then when we talk about the different styles, there are some styles where there's more prominence of one element or another, okay? So for example, if we talk like positive emotions versus action mid intensity is going to be basically it's all movement, right? With not much direction. Because it's the goal of that cue is creating that tension, but it doesn't go anywhere, it stays there. Anyway, and then we've got element number 3, which is background. Background is what I call sometimes glue, but it's the stuff that's behind the music, underneath, right? That we don't clearly hear. Sometimes we don't even pay attention if you are not, well, you are all nerds like me, so I know that you pay attention to the background. It's like, oh, look at all this look at all this magic, like John Williams, everything that's behind is what we care about, not the big melodic statement. So that's the background, it's glue, it's anything that sits behind the mix. It usually be something that is not obvious, but it's there, and you can tell when it's missing. It's like it's there, you don't hear, but we're talking about the background, the strings, we're talking about the pads, things like this. This element fills the gaps and helps join the different musical ideas together. And then we've got enhancers, and then we've got bass. So 2 important parts, but the enhancers, we're talking about ear candy, textural forces like runs, scales, trills, all these type of things that help connecting, that help things like that. And then bass, extra low end, very important, blah blah blah. Cool. Going back. So the 5 musical forces, very important. It is very useful because sometimes we're gonna be like looking at the screen, like there's this scene, and I'm like, what should I do? And then you're gonna look, okay, what does this scene needs? The music needs to what? Needs to elevate the scene, needs to make it move faster, needs to slow it down, or needs to tell the story. Like if you need to tell the story, it's moment for direction element, right? So maybe we're gonna have the melodic statement. If we need to hold the tension in the scene, because there's nothing happening, you just hold the tension. What element? The movement, because movement creates tension, but it doesn't tell a story, it doesn't take us from point A to point B. Right now, this tension, do we need to speed up the scene, or do we need to slow down? Speed up, maybe pulse. If you slow down, maybe drums. So background instead of movement. So things like this. It makes it so simple, and it works so well with film music and drama, thinking about the 5 elements. And it's so important because it helps you avoid writer's block. Okay, what element should I start with, right? And just start with one of them and then add the second one. By the way, you don't need the 5, you don't need even 3. Sometimes just one element works. You've got that moment in the movie, the story is moving forward, you just need to tell the story. Just a melodic statement, direction, going from point A to point B. End of the story. We don't need anything else. We don't need background, we don't need movement, we don't need anything else. All right, let's continue. Once you understand this, now we're going to be talking about the cliches. Really, Mark? Cliches. Yes, we're gonna talk about cliches now. Cliches, you can call cliches, moods, styles, recipes, call it whatever you want, but it's just a formula that works. And again, we are here because we're talking about how to generate income with music, yes? But before that, some of you are like, I still need the confidence, or I still don't know how to compose, I don't need... Great, awesome. Now let's learn music first. Well, music's gonna take forever. Yes, if you go harmony first, orchestration, counterpoint, all these things. What I'm suggesting here with the cliches is instead of studying all these things, start practicing and understand. Let me show you. So action, high intensity. And we're gonna talk style definitions, so tempo, rhythm, harmony, melody, orchestration, blah, 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 the whole thing, right? How do you compose in this style? Well, you compose like this, right? It's like, okay, cool, all right. I've got the formula, the cliche, whatever, and now I can apply it. Great. And as you are applying, you are learning orchestration, harmony, everything, counterpoint, rhythm. You learn all these musical things as you practice, as you do the thing. So that's what I'm suggesting, and that's why it's so much more effective. I introduced this in this slides in 2018 for the first time in a course called HCCM, Hollywood System Secret Masterclass. Back then, I'll give them to you at the end of the class. In my experience, teaching so many composers, it's way faster to learn this way. All these years teaching, I made a perception recently. So there are two ways of learning things. There's the one directional. Like this is me. This is a web class, me giving you stuff with all the mics muted for obvious reasons. It's one directional. Reading a book, it's one directional. Watching a YouTube video, it's one directional. You can write a comment. Maybe the person will answer you, but most likely it's one directional. You receive the information. And the slides that I'm gonna give you, one directional as well. Now, there's another way. There's this discussion of music and AI. We're not going to be talking about music and AI. We're not going to be talking about AI composing music. That's something that I don't care about. That doesn't matter to me. What it matters to me is like AI for education or for learning. Many of you, maybe you saw this video on YouTube the other day, but this is me, right? And you can Google this, obviously. How to compose an action high intensity, it'll tell you. You can Google how to compose a positive emotions, cinematic orchestral music. It'll tell you. You will find it there. You can ask this to ChatGPT, the same thing, right? How to compose in this style, and it'll tell you the exact same things that you find in the slides, or like, okay, rhythmically, melodically, orchestration, harmony, type of counterpoints, etc., everything, tempo, and it's fun, but you can find it online as well. The cool thing about AI is like, okay, how do I combine this with folk music, right? How do I combine this and that? And it'll kind of like create the style for you. I'm just saying that now you can have a conversation with someone that obviously is not as good as I am, but just kidding. But it can give you the information. You can have an interaction. You can have a back and forth. Actually, we're creating our own software. We're training our own AI with 12 years of videos, right? So we're feeding all this information, so you can have access to this information instead of having it through videos. You can have it through something that's a little bit more intelligent, that can give you the exact answer that you need faster. All right. So it's not better or worse. It's just faster, and it feels bi-directional, and it's much better than one directional. Would you guys agree if you have this a system that simplifies it so much? The 5 musical forces or 3 musical forces, basically direction, movement, background, end of a story. We've got enhancers and bass. It's like, this is a pretty easy way to think about music. And then if you have the formulas or the cliches, you can get the start. You know the what now? It's like, okay, if I need to compose suspense, and I know that suspense, we're gonna use minor chords with a little bit of attention. This is gonna be a tempo. This is gonna be the instrumentation. If I give you this, do you think that you could compose? Get the start. I'm not saying that it's gonna sound great and everything, but would you agree that this is a good starting point? Yes, put it in the chat. Awesome, fantastic. Now, composing music is fast when you have the tool now. So we talk about the what, how to compose music. Okay, this is how you compose music in a simplified way instead of taking gears. Now, how do we make this so it sounds good? So let's get there. We're gonna talk about the template. Oh, are we gonna talk about templates now? No, we're not gonna talk too much about templates. I'm gonna make this super easy for you. I'm not even gonna show you this video, but basically in the past, templates were a little bit harder because first, computers were not as powerful. Second, the libraries didn't sound as well. They were way more expensive. And so basically putting a template together is way easier these days. Here's my recommendation. I would show the video, but that's okay. You will see my template. Why do I need a template? Well, you need a template so you can sit down, put your hands on the keyboard, and start composing. You've got the sounds ready. On the other hand, a template will also pre-mix the music for you, but we'll get there in a second. Now, what I wanted to say is, A template, there are different approaches to template. My template in the past was a bigger template. We're talking almost 1,000 tracks, right? And in the past, multiple computers, main computers, server computers, slave computers, BE Pro, the whole thing, just making it very complicated. And it's great, gives you a lot of power, but it takes time to build a template like this. It's very expensive. My approach is the 80-20 rule. What are the 20% of the tracks that I need that are going to be enough to compose 80% of the music that I need? And yes, obviously, later I've got more tracks loaded in my template, not enabled, disabled tracks, right, that I can activate as I need. But these are the tracks that you need for your template, basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 15, 30, 40, couple of reverbs, you're done. Okay, and we've got these templates built. I will share them with you at the end if you want, so you can study them. But what I'm trying to say is that it's simple, it's easy, don't overcomplicate it. These days I compose with this computer. It's a MacBook Pro M1. It's an expensive laptop, but what I'm saying is 64 gigs of RAM, and it is just crazy that you can host so much in just one laptop. Remember, I come from having a 3-computer system, more than 500 gigs of RAM, just crazy. So way simpler, way easier, plus the libraries these days sound much better and are way cheaper. But there are some libraries that cost $400, $600, $1,000. Yes, 100%. But there are options these days that sound as amazing as the premium libraries, even subscription models that give you everything that you need. We could dedicate an entire class, an entire course to talk about templates, right? For the interest of time, I'm gonna focus on in this case, when it comes to like the first part of the class, which is just finished, I just focused on the concept. For those who are beginners, was this helpful to see, okay, you know what, yes, I could get started, put it in the chat. All right, fantastic. All right, rock and roll. Let's go then. So now the second part of the class. This is the main part of the class. Let's talk about how to generate income with your music. There's no secret. Or maybe if you're a beginner, maybe you're like, but where do I find? Well, you know what? I'm not gonna assume. Like, I'm at USC at this point. I'm composing journey as a student, 15, 16 years. Then I did a little bit of Berklee courses. Now I get to USC, and then it's like, how do I get projects? And I remember we had this one class, that's 2010, how we had this one class with Richard Kraft, very known agent in Hollywood. And he's like, you're gonna get a movie tomorrow, mañana. And we were like, how? Well, you're gonna go into IMDb Pro, you're gonna find a production company that's producing a movie, and then you're going to call them. And I was like, I think I was 22 or 23 at the time. I ain't happening. Well, that day I called. I did not get the movie, but that's basically, I'm just saying, I didn't know how to do it. Well, this is how it's done. That's the old school and this works. So you just go on IMDb Pro, Variety Insights, a little more expensive, Deadline.com, Mandy. You're gonna use some sort of like Reel Crafter or Disco to create your demo reel. You're gonna send those emails, you're gonna make those calls. For bigger projects, we're gonna start we're gonna have the discussion of, should I have an agent or not? Should I have an agent or a manager? What is it better? All these things, it just works. That's you reaching out to other people. The new way is other people reaching out to you, and we'll talk about this. This is the one that I want to focus on. But before we go there, this works. Like everything that I showed you earlier is been like using this. Nathalie Bonin, Matthew Fisher, Medhat, all these examples, or this is a Momentum student from Tom. Exciting news, friends. Had to find the words. I'm beyond thrilled to announce that I've been officially joined the world of Disney. He joined on February. This is January next year. Jose, the first challenge or the first key that he wrote for Momentum, got placed on the official music for the baseball playoffs teaser, airing tomorrow night on Fox. Great. Edward, first movie, $5,000, and collaborating with other, Emilia. So Pablo, so this works. Like, I'm just saying, like, these were students. Few months later, 3 months later, got a movie. How? Just calling. So it's not. And what do these movies do? They bring you income. So we're talking about generating income with your music. That's your music on a movie, generating income for you. These initial movies, like TV movies, we're talking between $5,000 or $7,000 to $20,000 kind of upfront, and then royalties. Okay, depends. So that's one way. Another way is approaching publishers. Let me just play a video of Corey. Again, this is not a promo. It's just we're gonna discuss of Momentum. We're gonna study Momentum, but then we're gonna discuss a few things. Let's go.
Started composing cinematic music, I guess you could call it, December, about 15 months ago. Was reading a book series and was like, I hear a song idea. So I opened GarageBand and literally was playing with the musical typing. I don't know if you guys know this, but you can use the keyboard as a piano on GarageBand. So like, A through L is your keys, and I'm typing stuff in and putting MIDI notes in and just no idea what I was doing, but wrote 7 songs in 7 days based on this book series I was reading. As I said, I get obsessed easily. So this was like during Christmas break. I mean, it was all day, every day, just absorbed in it. So I put it down because I knew if we're in school and I'm teaching, I can't do this because I won't be able to make myself go to sleep. And then last summer, kind of circled back around to it and said, you know what, I want to learn a little more about this. And so started devouring videos from anything I could get my hands on. I was watching and practicing and learning, picked up some libraries. And then the more I thought about it and started kind of watching examples and stuff, I found myself in this place where you're watching something and listening to the soundtrack. And I thought, no, I think I could write something better than that. No, I don't think that music's right for this. I think the music needs to be like this. And so finding myself thinking, now I'm starting to have this mindset where I'm interested in how the music is shaping things and I want to write better. Like I have a vision for how music could shape this scene or this game or whatever. And so signed up for some stuff here on Mark's website and then saw this email about Momentum. I took some time to think about it and I was like, look, this musical thing is my happy place. It's something I just love and I'm passionate about. And isn't that the dream if you could make at least part of your income coming from something that you enjoy that much? So I made the decision to make the investment because if it does turn out being a career or part career, it's worth it. I'm here. I'm ready to give 100% of what I have. And I'm really excited. I started doing library music before I started Momentum and have stuff in, 5 libraries and was really trying to figure stuff out and just doing as much as I can. Through a recommendation I heard through a video, reached out to a publisher and sent him some of my stuff. And he said, this is cool music, but there's way too much going on. It's all over you're telling a story. We're not here to tell a story. We're here to get a library track. So he said, reach out to me again. I reached out to him last month, just sent my Momentum cues. He said, I really like these ones. These are awesome. I would love to take them on. I said, well, they're already in some other exclusive libraries. He's like, well, can you write 8 to 10, more tracks in this style for me? And I was like, holy shit. Someone just asked me to write music. For me, it was the biggest moment of my life. I just wanted to say setting the goal is super awesome. So yeah, thank you. It's inspiring to hear it's possible.
Thanks for sharing.
And thank you to Mark. For me, it feels like I just got signed to, Universal Records or something so thanks for showing us that it's possible, guys. We appreciate that.
As I was, we were watching this video, I was looking at the screen and still 400 or 500 people. I just wanted to say thank you. I appreciate your time and your attention. Let's get the most out of this. So let's real quick analyze what happened here, what Corey did. So I contacted this publisher. So I contacted this publisher means I send an email. The email is gonna be something like, hey, I love the catalog that music that you're putting out there. I think I could contribute to your catalog. Here's my music, blah, blah, blah. And actually they took the time and they gave him a chance. They gave him an opportunity based on their music. I guess a respectful email, and then they listened to their music and they saw the benefit of using his music to his catalog because they thought based on the clients that they have, they could sell. So there's an interest. Based on that interest from the guy who's running the business, they give you a chance. I'll just give you my view on this. This is how the world works, but I just don't like it. And that's perfectly fine. But if you see what I've done is different, I do movies. I just did 4 movies this past 2-3 months, right? I continue to do movies and I love it. But I don't personally, some people say, why don't you with the effort that you're putting on what you're building, if you put the same effort into your career, you'd be doing bigger movies. Why aren't you doing this? And it's not that I don't like doing movies. It's not that I don't like working for other people. What I do not like is feeling judged. I think it's a childhood trauma, I guess. So many people telling me you're not going to be able. So I just fucking hate when someone tells me, you know what, just contact me in 2 months. It just lowers my energy. It's nothing good or bad. It just lowers my energy. So I don't want more of this in my life. Instead, what I did is I created a brand and people contact me instead. And I'm not saying this to brag. I'm just saying that I think we composers, we have the tools available to kind of reclaim the power back. And I'm not saying we against them type of thing, but we can build our own infrastructure to create our own income based on our art and the music that we create, and based on if the audience like it or not based on one person judging if it's good enough, and I'm gonna give you the opportunity or next one down the line. That's me, and it's not. I'm not against that. It's just that it works. It works. The older school, but I don't go in that direction as much because right now, just with the people that already contact me, it's enough. All right. So that's what Corey did. This is this. Now, the problem with this is one, what I just said, and the second problem is that it's one-on-one. It takes lots of time. Like, literally, when I got my first movie, I did hundreds of calls, blah, blah, blah. Friend of mine got the project, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna get a movie. Yeah, I'm gonna get a movie. So it was like, I'm going to call 100 production companies per week, 20 per day, which is a lot of effort because you have to filter them, you have to list them, and then start calling them. When you call them, if they pick up the phone, you have to send them the demo reel, right? And back in the days, it was a CD, right? So, there, send the CD and the whole thing. Obviously, week number 3, I burn out completely. I stopped doing it. Lucky enough, 2 months later, the first one that I contacted reached back to me. It's like, hey, did you send a CD a couple of months ago? It's like, yes, we've got the movie, and that got me started. But it takes time and a lot of effort. The other way of doing is, it's other people reaching to you. Solution, one too many. One too many. Instead of one-to-one, it's one-to-many. And the reason why they will contact you is because they will remember you and they will contact you proactively. It's less invasive and they will find you because they find you. Let's dive deeper in this concept, because at this point you're like, how does this work? And we're going to talk about creating a brand. Now, to create a brand, you must be known, right? And to be known, you must be seen and heard. All right, cool. How many of you have seen me before? Like maybe you've seen an ad, like, hey, we've got this new amazing thing going on, right? Doing like the dancing monkey. So you've seen me. Again, I'm so appreciative, like 400 or 500 people in this room, just because I built credibility. The first time that we're talking about this is the result of we sending an email to our list. And because we build know, like, and trust. Now you're like, I'm gonna listen to what this guy has to say. And even though the first part of the class, maybe for some of you has been boring, you're still like, we're talking the 5 musical force, the cliches, you are still waiting. And again, I'm not saying this for granted, I appreciate it so much. You know, time is the biggest resource that you've got. But this is what a brand does. Builds trust, and people will contact you. All right, let's move on. I keep receiving more and more calls to do movies. I have done 4 movies in the past 3 months. I'll show this to you in a second. But on top of that, what I'm going to show you is stuff that's happening to me all the time. Like this past week, 2 more of this. So this from 8Dio or SoundPaint. Hey, we've got this new thing. Do you want to do a video? Like you do videos, right? Do you want to do video? How much? I need this and that. Another one from Steinberg. Hey, Mark, did you get the license? Because by the way, when you have a YouTube channel with a little bit of an audience, they want you to use their products. I still buy libraries, but I get approached by so many people like, hey, here's the license. Just try it, right? Because they know that maybe it ends on my YouTube channel. How many sales they're going to do? Like if I say, oh my gosh, I just replaced, you know that I use Cine Samples for brass? And you're like, yes, we know, Mark. I just tried this new library and honestly, it replaced my entire, and this is called XYZ. Some of you will consider it. Some of you won't even look at what they say in their website. You're gonna be like, okay, add to cart, buy. Because you've been following me and I've given you value in my YouTube videos, let's say, and you're like, I trust this guy. I don't need anything else. And they know that. They'll contact you. So basically, did you get the licenses? If you're interested in doing more videos, let me know. Obviously, I cannot show the price of how much they agreed to pay me because we sign agreements. But crazy as it sounds, sometimes these things pay more than a movie. And remember, the movies pay between $5,000 to $20,000, like the ultra low budget in TV movie. Sometimes these things pay more than that. Another one from Speedfire was looking to get in contact with Mark Giovanni with a view of working together in the future, etc., etc., etc. Let's talk about brand for a second. Let's remember this one more time. So, Alan Silvestri, Danny Elfman, etc. Would you say these composers do cold calling? Like, hey, like, can you imagine? John Williams calls you, hey, this is John Williams. I'm a film composer. And you're like, I know who you are already because they built a brand. So do you think they do cold calling, or do you think they get approached by clients to work on their projects? Obviously, yes, they have the agents and they will pitch for projects because very competitive, especially at that level. But it's more like, oh no, this is the exact composer that we need for this movie because of the music that they write or the brand that they represent. And like, even if they did cold calling, like, do you even think if the composers, do the call? Okay, is it even a cold call at this point? Not anymore. So this will open you doors. And at this point, you may be thinking, I still don't know what you're talking about, how to create this brand. We'll get there in a second. In my opinion, this is the new way. This is the way. You can go all this, the old way, which works perfectly fine. Maybe it works more with your personality. You like doing those cold calls, sending those cold emails. That's fantastic. That's great. And I always thought that way when it comes to finding projects, and I have done it, and it works. I feel this works better because it gives you the power back as a composer, as an artist. And I think that's important. Again, we have to build a brand. To build a brand, you need to be known. To be known, you must be seen and heard. Now, let's get to the tangible tactics. But how do you do this? And you may think this is hard and this takes time. No. So basically, you're going to strategically post in social media. And you're already doing this. For example, YouTube channel. But instead of, it was my son's birthday. No, you're going to strategically post in social media. So you're going to spend the exact same amount of time that you are posting on social media, but you're going to do this strategically. You're not going to use social media to distract you. You're going to use social media to create a brand. You're going to compose the music that you like. Obviously, as we have discussed, and that's why we spent 20 minutes at the beginning of the class talking about music. It's important. Your music needs to sound good. Like, you need to be a good composer. Otherwise, the brand that you're going to build is not going to help you. So it has to be good music. That's why we spent some time. Then you're going to post your music there, and then you're just going to wait a few months. Now, at this point, you're like, all right, Mark. So you're telling me to open a YouTube channel and become a YouTuber. No, ain't happening. Or you're gonna be like, Mark, it works for you because you teach, and obviously we listen to you, and that's why your channel grows, because that's an excuse of why this is not going to work for you and why it works for others. Because when you see someone else doing something that has worked for them, you see the result. You will always be able to connect the dots moving back, because you say, oh, the guy did that, and now this is the result. But you cannot connect the dots moving forward because you still don't see the dots. And then you'll make excuses of why you're not going to try and go in that direction. Other excuse can be, but music-only channels do not get monetized, because that's the next thing that we're going to be talking. But yes, they get monetized. They make a lot of money. That's just for starters. Like, just putting your videos out there, they can make a lot of money. But then the brand, which we will talk. Let's say that you're like, okay, Mark, I'm going to do this YouTube thing, or I'm going to post in social media, right? I'm going to create a brand. And then what? Let's take a look at this channel. This channel, they've got a lot of subscribers, 265,000, a lot. We've got 29,000. It is a lot. Now, views, not that many. 1,000, 6,000, 2,000, 1,000, not a lot. Now, let's go back. Let's see how much this channel is making. This is Social Blade. It's not perfect. It's not exact. It'll say it's doing between $500 and $8,000 or $9,000. All right, good. I will show you in a second how it's most of the times on the high end. $9,000 a month posting music on a YouTube channel. All right, let's continue. Let's go for, this is a bigger channel, but I just like epic music. All right, cool. I compose trailer music. Great. There's more competition there, but let's just take a look at that channel. This is this channel, and they have more views. They have way more subscribers. This is one of the big channels. That's 1 million subscribers. That's a lot. Now, the views, more, but not that much. 5,000, 9,000, 19,000. All right. And obviously, you may be seeing the older videos get more views. Yes, of course. Let's take a look at Social Blade. Between $700 a month and $12,000 a month. Is it 700 or is it 12,000? It's more than 20,000 most likely. This is our YouTube channel. We've got 29,000 subscribers. We've been doing this for 2 years. Our videos, this is the last one, 1,000, 4,000. This is a good video sort of thing, right? A good video will do 4,000 for us in a week. Let's just see what Social Blade says about us. We're gonna see a way smaller number because the views are smaller. Between $22 a month and $353. Now we're talking reality. That's exactly what I'm going to get, Mark. This is not that I cannot make a living with this. Okay, yes, we'll see how it's done. This is just to prove. So Social Blade is saying that our channel makes $353. Let's see exactly how much. So these are real numbers. How much our channel makes just from YouTube paying ads. They put ads in front of our video and they pay us $503. This is 1 month. $503. So it's in the high end. So it is a channel that talks about music. Social Blade says $300. We're actually doing more like 500. Cool. All right. So this is the reality. So these guys are doing at least 9,000 or 9,000. These guys are doing at least, I don't know, $5,000 to $12,000 or more. Awesome. But Mark, I don't want to go on social media because you always have to be feeding it. Yes and no. Look at these videos. Maybe you've seen these videos. The dynamics video, like the 3 minutes dynamics video, 1,400 views last month. We did this video in 2020. Still receives like between 1 and 2,000 views each month. The same thing with this one. Look at how this video, so this is one video, dynamic secrets. And again, in a second, I will talk about how this applies to you. Obviously, I'm in a different niche, and the education niche, and that's what I'm showing you. But this video, as you can see, 3 years, continues to grow, continues to get views. It's a crazy thing. YouTube keeps printing those videos and you get views for free, like 1,000 views or 2,000 views each month. Now, think about this just for a second. Imagine what it could do, putting a work with me link in a video like this, that does like 1,000 free views per month. And I say free because you're not paying. Like when you see me on ads, we are paying money for those ads to show in front of you. But these videos, they find you. Remember what we talked about? They find you and they like you. They are there because of something. But Mark, they watch your videos because they want to learn how to compose music. Why do you think those music channels get views? Let's talk about serving for a second. Let's talk about making the world a better place, because that's what we are talking the entire time. We're talking about making the world a better place. And how you do this? By serving, by helping, by building something that goes beyond you and your needs. When you put your music out there, there's someone else that's gonna listen to that music because it creates an emotional change within them. They need that epic music because they need that motivation in that moment. They need that, lo-fi, whatever music, because they need to concentrate. And they will listen to your music. And you don't know all these people, some of them are going to be people who are working on projects who need music and discover you, like, what is the exact type of music that I need for my whatever it is, my project. I'll explain you how this applies to you in a second. But the whole thing, the only reason why we get views is because we are of service. We are doing something that is helpful for some people. And when you put your music out there, if you are humble, and I know that many of you are, you may think it's just music. Music is one of the most important things in this world because it's a way to transfer emotions, and people need that many times in their life, in their day, and they'll plug the headphones and listen to music because they need that. And so your music out there, it's actually helping, and it just needs you to put your music out there and to be brave enough to present it to the world, and then let's see things happen. Just clarify that for a second. Now let's imagine, what would it do in a video like this, 1,000 views per month, to put a work with me? Let's not imagine it. Let's see what it actually does. All right, so you guys are here. We put a video out there. AI, blah, blah, blah. So that video got 2,000 views, as you can see here. And in the description, I was like, hey, got a field class coming up. How to earn money with music. It's going to be a blast. Click here. Just imagine, just for a second. Hey, if you like my music, if you want more of this, click here. You can download it. It's free, royalty free. You can use it. Just fill up the information, name and email. Start growing a list and just start emailing them once in a while. Hey, I just released a new album. Just go listen. Or hey, I just released a new album. It's whatever price, right? You can download it, free royalty music, whatever it is. But there are so many other, free royalty, big corporations out there. It doesn't matter. The beautiful thing about this is that we are working as such a small niche that we don't need a big audience. We just need the small little audience that want us, our personality, our weirdness, and our music and our voice. That's the only thing that you need. So it's easier than it seems. Now, let's go back to this. The first day, 66 people. This is a CRM. Up here says 66 people, it says, and then here 15. So a total of 81 people just one day from one video. So 81 people. We put a video out there, and then 81 people was like, hey, yeah, sign me up. We are 500 people today. More than 1,000 people sign up for this. I thought that 1,000 people is like 10, 20%. I thought that this room would be like 100, 200. It's more like 400, 500 at some point. This is the power. This is the power of putting your message out there, letting people know how to work with you. And it's free. The crazy thing is that it's free. And the crazy thing is that you're going to do it anyway because you're going to compose anyway. You're going to compose anyway because you love it. May as well just put it out there, share it with the world type of music that you do, present yourself to the world and create a system so people can work with you. So let's talk a little bit more about this. So it's a video, a CTA, call to action, it's a CRM to keep things organized, it's a series of automations that will remind people that, hey, if you want to work with me, this is how it works, a series of rules, automations, things like this. You have to understand, like what I was saying earlier, Momentum, at the moment it's closed for enrollment, but got different packages, right? But it's $24K. You record with an orchestra, the whole deal. At least one of these people will enroll at some point. I saw this guy, right, on YouTube. I attended a class. The guy seemed, for some people not, but for some, the guy seemed genuine. I liked, he gave me value, and maybe, 3 months down the line, he applies to Momentum. Power of one video. One video. Now, we're in the niche of music education. We've been doing this for a while. So we've got a plethora of programs and courses, right? These are highest end, but one video, 500 people, 400 people in a room like this, and the potential of what this could be for, in this case, Cinematic Composing as the company later on in terms of money. And these classes get filled up, right? This is this Momentum February he just got. So with Chris, with Javier Navarrete, with Amy Doherty. And that's 2022. Like, if we took a photo at this point, it doesn't matter for us anymore because we are here not for the money. We're building something bigger. Now, I just wanted to go back one step again. What this will allow you is to make the world a better place. And I know this sometimes sounds a little bit grand, but just for us, right? I saw Dirk Kellert in a YouTube video, contacted him, hey, need a teacher for Momentum. Contacted him, he was like, yeah, let's do this. He teaches at Momentum. Now he's recording in Bratislava, shows the students how to record with an orchestra. Now we include recording sessions in Momentum. We created something with this system, flows money in, allows us to create infrastructure to make the place a better world. Because, for example, to do something like this, in the past you had to do USD, $72,000. You have to move from Spain to US. And now we've been able to create something like this. But it starts with deciding to share or to talk about what you love organically. It happens organically. Now, you don't even need these numbers. You do not need these numbers. We're doing this at a scale because we're creating something bigger than ourselves. This is a video of, the great things that are happening in Momentum. I'm not even going to show what anyway, it's just a video. Kind of feels like a promo video of Momentum. But this allows us to build something like this. And we decided to build something that's bigger than ourselves, that's bigger than our ego. You could agree that this is bigger than ourselves. You don't need these numbers. What you need, if what you want is like, I just want to compose music. I want to make a living. Like, I want to make 20, 40, 60K a year. You've seen you haven't seen it. So one of these videos, so I'll get paid $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for one video, promoting something. And I don't do many of these videos. You've seen, like, generally I don't even talk because I just don't have time. Like, we are focused on cinematic composing, Momentum, empowering composers. But they approach me with, hey, we've got this new library. Can you talk about this? This is the price. Let's say it's $1,000. And it's, depending on where you live, we live in LA or close to LA. We've got 2 kids. Life is it's more expensive than in Spain, in a small town in Spain. So $1,000 is very different in Spain than in the US. But if through this you would make $2,000 a month, an extra $24,000 a year, would this make it feel like, yeah, this composing thing starts making sense? It's like you need more money to survive, right? So like you live in New York, LA, or you're gonna need more money, especially if you've got kids. But extra $2,000 a month, would this be helpful? Would this be, yes? All right, put it in the chat if you think that this would be helpful. Absolutely, yes. All right, fantastic. So, okay, but how do I do this? I'm gonna try to drive this home to you. So it's basically, thank you. It's very, very helpful. Yeah, all right, cool. So we're talking about putting your music out there. Have a way for people to follow. I'll read this in a second. It works like this. You just compose your music. Like you compose a trailer cue. Go to just Midjourney. Imagine a cover for a trailer cue. Awesome. Create 4, select the one that you like the most, put it in Premiere, your music down below. At the end of your music, 2 minutes and a half or a minute and a half. Hey, it's Mark Giovanni. Thanks for listening to the music. I appreciate your time. It means a lot to me. I hope that you liked it. If you want more music like this, just, let me know in the comments. Thanks for your time. See you in the next one. Bye. End of story. So you just presented your music. You show them who you are. But Mark, I'm an introvert. Great. Fantastic. The introverts will connect with you. It's vibrational energy. They are gonna feel it. They're gonna connect with you. But Mark, I'm very, very weird. Like weird type of introvert. Great. Even better. Just go out there and present. But Mark, I do not talk like you. I don't move the arms like this all the time. I am not like such and such YouTuber. Even better. Even better. Just be you. Just be you. Just put your music out there, with your phone, blurry background, makes it look a little bit better. This is Mark, blah, blah, blah. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you. See you next time. It is so gentle, the approach. It's not aggressive. It's not like an ad. Sorry for interrupting you. I've got this new thing that I want to sell to you. Please buy. Fuck off. But on a YouTube video, it's like, here's my music. Thanks for listening. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm going to be posting more. Thank you. End of the story. If you want to work with me, whatever, and we'll give you some ideas. But yeah, put your music out there. Have a way for people to follow, contact you. Keep them posted about what you do. Why? So they remember you. They're going to see you as the go-to to solve their problem. What problem? They need music, and they will contact you. Period. Now, here's the worst news. If you don't do it, like the system, like it's not rocket science, right? Like if you don't do it, someone else will do. And they will win you all the time, every time. They will get your clients because you are providing more value than they do. So because they are providing more value than you do. What value? Let's think about it this way. So you go on Amazon and you need a blanket and you don't care, what blanket. Oh, 11,000, 4.5 star reviews. This one, I don't even care about the color. People, they seem to like it. So I'm gonna get this blanket. That's it. So this is very, very important when you are starting. Why do I say this? Because even if you're doing cold calling, you're gonna cold call. This is Mark. I'm a composer. And the guy says, I don't know you. But hey, the guy sent me music. It's good music. Let me look him up. Guy has no credits because I'm starting out. Guy has no credits, or even worse, I don't like the type of credits that I see. The guy has done 3 short movies, has no experience. Then it's hard. That's the hardest challenge to overcome. Instead, if they see, oh my gosh, this guy has a following. Oh, people seem to like his music or her music. They are going to be like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna give her a chance. They won't even, they will listen to your music, but how many times an influencer got into a big project just because of the following? It's very important. It's something that they can monetize later on. It's very important. It's very powerful, your audience. When you are putting your videos out there, you are just filtering. You're filtering. I'm going to repeat this. Filtering. This is filtering people that resonates with you. This is this guy, Mark Giovanni, that talks about this, and some of you resonate with my weirdness. Other people, or some of you, will resonate with Guy Mitchell more. Or maybe you like everyone, and you learn from everyone. That's awesome. That's the only, you just go out there, you do your thing, some people resonate with you. Sometimes it takes time, sometimes, whatever. Then the clients, see your audience, and that audience is a stage that you have built. Now, when you contact them, it doesn't feel as cold calling anymore because they are like, oh, no, this guy has been doing, or this girl has been doing this for a while. You get the point. It's very, very important. So that's the bad news. Now, for the good news, how cool would it be to compose the music, compose music every day, put it in your YouTube channel, whatever it is. It can be on Instagram, whatever works for you, and have people contact you with paid opportunities. You don't even have to do cold calling. That's pretty awesome. And you are doing 20, 40, 60K a year, and you basically just compose your music and just put it out there. That's it. How many of you think this would be a good starting point? That would be pretty awesome. Is that something that yeah, awesome, great. Put it in the chat. Let's go. How can I show this? So these are movies. So one movie, another movie, another movie, another movie. This is recently. More movies that I can make. In fact, Fatima just sent me this morning, hey, you just got another movie. You want to put this in the slides. I don't want to share the email. There's the contact information but this morning just another one. And obviously some of these movies are bigger, some of these movies are smaller. It doesn't really matter. It's more movies than I can do, as you can read. And I've got quite a bit going on. I've got my family, then cinematic composing, and then as the company, and then my composing career in this particular order. So when I get movies, I never say no to movies because one, if I do the movie, it keeps me updated. I'm an introvert, I'm very insecure, and I have a big imposter syndrome. So I feel that if I'm not actively working, I don't deserve teaching. I don't deserve So that's one thing. And the other thing is the opportunities for the students. These last movies, I could have not done it, but I brought some of the students to do the movies with me, and that's an opportunity. What you are seeing, this is just the tip of the iceberg. When you've got a small little channel, if you are able to grow it to 2,000, 3,000 subscribers, something like this, community posts, brand deals, sponsorships, product reviews, software walkthroughs, like the ones that I've showed you. Or you can promote your own sounds. You're you know what? I don't want to work for someone else that doesn't. I want to work within the music industry. I want to serve other composers. There's many people like promoting their own templates, their own sounds. So you can promote your off software, promote your there you go, your template or your other products. So the credibility that something like YouTube does or posting social media is big. What I can tell you is I took a little bit over 1,000 Momentum application calls. The funniest things is when I go there and I review the application, we accepted the application, and I'm gonna spend the time speaking with this applicant. And it starts like this. Hey John, how are you? Thanks for making time for this. Very excited to speak with you. And so many times they're like, oh my gosh, you look just like in the YouTube videos. I've watched every YouTube video and thank you for the whole thing. Those people generally are a better fit. It's an application call. They come with the intention of enrolling. They know they have the information and everything, and it's just the last steps. So it validates so much. All right, we've been going for like an hour. Would you like to know how I do this, like everything, like the behind the scenes? We have prepared a 3-day, something like this, but just longer to kind of explain the step, because we learned the how this works. You put the music here, blah, 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 but the how, the exact frameworks. We put together a 3-day live bootcamp where I'll explain all these techniques. Is it okay if later on, I just wanted to ask permission for you? Yes? Okay, fantastic.
Maybe at this point you're watching this video and the 3 days bootcamp live event has already happened. That's perfectly fine. We're doing another one next month. So we're just gonna still click the link below and you can enroll for the one that's next month.
Let's move on then. So I'm just going to talk, this is me, but there's more people. Dirk Ellert, YouTube channel, and Catherine. She teaches in Momentum as well. At Momentum, she's a teacher with us. And she said, since she has the YouTube channel that was in a class, she doesn't do cold calls anymore to get projects because they contact to her instead. So there you go. Or more proof. How did you end here? At some point you saw me. I'm not even gonna make the joke because we already did it, but you've seen me enough. Proof that this works. You just, again, in order to create a brand, and hopefully like the whole thing is you need to create a brand. And when we talk, it's gonna be next week, the bootcamp. We're gonna be sharing the exact frameworks. That's how you configure everything, but everything works better when you have built a brand. It's that magic hand that operates. But yes, creating a brand is going to be the most important thing. Now, let me just tell you something, because for some of you, you may be like, easy for you. Been doing this for a while, 7 years. What there's around you support your message sort of thing. You would think so, right? My website is broken, markgiovanni.com. This is me, I guess when I was 13, because I've got gray hair now. This is my demo reel, broken, because Reelcrafter updated version 2, you know that, right? Like a couple of years ago, still did not update it in my website. This is about me, Mark Giovanni. This photo is from the USC years. But again, this is like, oh, Mark, you can do this because of... No, I'm not even doing things right. My Spotify, like, you know the most embarrassing thing? Uber. So, because you have to talk, even if you're an introvert. So what you do? Well, I'm a composer. Oh, no way. What type of music? Can I hear it in the radio? It's like, no, I do music for movies, you know, like soundtrack, like Hollywood. And it's like, can I listen to your music on Spotify? And I'm like, I don't even have my music on Spotify. Like, I haven't even put the time. So when people tell me, I love your music, I'm like, where did you hear my music? Like, it's in SoundCloud, I've got some old tracks. So what I'm saying is, I'm not encouraging this. I'm just saying that if I can do this, like if it works for me, what I'm just saying, it will work for you as well, because I have things working against me and still it works. My music, no way to listen it, no Facebook page, Instagram, I don't know how to use, like, you know, the stuff that you see on Instagram, we've got a system in the company for, you know, those shorts to go out there. I don't know how to use Instagram, I don't want to use it. It's just lower, it's just no. I don't know the difference between a reel and I don't know. LinkedIn, like if you look Mark Giovanni LinkedIn, most likely what you will see is like Mark Giovanni build Inunji. It's like Shopify, like create your online store, but in Espanol, in Spanish. That was me, like when I didn't know, you know, what direction I was going on, you know, composing, 2011, 12, I was lost. That's the last information that you can see from Mark Giovanni and LinkedIn. So it, you know, everything around me, it's not helping. So if I can, so you can. And this is true, like, here's people is like, hey, I went to your website, it's not working, right? Or someone else, How can I hear some of your music? And here's the other thing. You don't need to be perfect. You just have to be you. I don't know if you can notice, but yesterday I was like, I have a hair like this. And it's like, I have to go to the, to get the hair done. I don't have time. I'm just gonna do it myself. This section here is shorter than this one. And I was like, it, I'm gonna do the class anyway. You don't have to do it perfect. I'm just trying to show you, you just have to be you. And it works. Now, last minute slide that I pull up from Momentum. And this is the important thing that we were talking about. Step into this mindset. We are not here to just make money. This is not kind of like a side hustle. Like, I'm gonna do composing on the side, I'm gonna make some money, or I'm gonna be composing, because I love it and it's a hobby. No. We're here to create the life of our dreams. How do we do this? Very simple. It's the same steps, but just in different angle. Define your passion. What makes you happy, truly? Like, what makes you happy? Because now we're gonna be able to do something that makes us happy. Because sometimes you wonder why, I get sick or I have this thing. I don't know what it is. I went to the doctor. They say that is fine. It's like this thing that you are meant to be. It's this thing that you are meant to do. But you're afraid of doing it because obviously everyone says it's not realistic. You're not gonna become a composer and make money out of that. You crazy or what? Like, how many composers do you know out there? I know a lot of lawyers, but not many composers. And you're like, yeah, they are right. And you suppress that. But that's the thing that you're supposed to be doing. That's the thing that you love. But because there is not a tangible, easy way of actually monetizing it, we give up. And I think it's not fair. And if we don't give up, then we try to get it, but then we depend on someone judging if we are worthy to get that opportunity or not, or I'm gonna give it to someone else. But now with this, you can do it. But before we go in that direction, you want to define what makes you happy. Composing music, fantastic. What type of music? Niche down. What type of, I like this type of, fantastic, amazing. Define the one thing based on that. Find the thing that makes you happy. I love teaching. I thought I was a composer. Turns out that I just get energized when I do this. It just elevates me. Well, I like teaching. I like music. I'll get here in a second. Find the one thing that you'd like to give to the world to make it a better place. Truly, really. And you're like, I don't know. Like, it's too big of a thought. It's simple. It's just my music out there. It's going to change. I don't know if any of you have seen like the Basico video, like music saved my life. I'm not gonna share it here, but music is very important. Music is very important, and you are composers to acknowledge that. So find something that makes you happy. Find the one thing that you like to give to the world to make it a better place. Talk about what you love and offer help to those who resonate with you. I don't know how to put the dots together. This is too hard for me. We'll work about all this in the bootcamp, in the 3 days live bootcamp. But just an example, me. I like composing orchestral music. Crazy, right? I also like teaching. I like empowering other composers. So the thing is, I empower other composers with the tools and knowledge to pursue their journey. Gives me the spark. All right, cool. Solution. Very simple. I teach. This is teaching. Gets recorded. An editor, Fede, who's here in the room, or Julian, edits some of these classes, and then we put them on YouTube. Many of times, I don't even do the YouTube videos. I just do my thing, gets recorded, and then, boom. Link on the YouTube videos for people to enroll. Hey, if you want more of this, we teach. They enroll, back to number 1. We've got a new class. I teach. Videos edited. YouTube. People see what we do. They're like, I like these guys. Let's go. So, end of the story. This is from one of my emails. I don't know why this is like this here. It should have been somewhere else. But this is what I charge for videos. $1,500, $2,400, $800 for a small little video. So this is like more complex videos. I compose music with a library or something, and then I talk about the music that I've composed using that library. Freaking out, I would do this for free. But if they pay me $1,000 to $3,000, I'm even more happy now, because this allows me to continue doing the thing that I love and supporting my family, or with bigger numbers, building infrastructure to do things like what we are doing today. Why did I can't? I think I'm just gonna move on. Now, I just want to, here's the most important thing. Don't worry. Because some of you are maybe thinking, I'm an introvert. Like, it's so hard for those who go there on YouTube and they talk. I have to talk. I don't like to do YouTube videos. They get edited from classes because if I have to think of the idea, I do music. I'm an introvert. Music is your voice. That's the beauty. Like what we are doing. Music is your voice. You don't need to become a YouTuber, like cliche YouTuber. You don't need to become an Insta famous. You just need to put your music out there, and I'll show you how. So let's talk about the 3-day live bootcamp. And I'll give you all the information, the dates, the price. Don't worry, it's not very expensive. So we put together, we still haven't done it, obviously. It's gonna be next week. I'll share the dates in a second. It's called Evolve Composer to Brand. I think the name is good. You let me know. And we are going to learn and execute ideas to make $20,000 with your music. Each one of these ideas, okay? Because I know that some of you are more of the, I don't know, there's different people that will prefer different things. There are some people that prefer to work with composers or with musicians and monetize their craft through inside the music industry. There's some people that want to work on projects, right? Like movies, things like this. There are different approaches to this, and I wanted to share them all with you. So I designed 3 days bootcamp where I'm not just going to be sharing this with you. You'll be applying them with me live. Yes, exactly. You're going to be working. We're going to be working. We're going to apply this live. It's going to be so much fun. It's going to be 3 days. You're going to have 6 hours a day of me. Each idea tactic can increase what we just searched at 20K more. And we are going to implementing this live. So at the end of the bootcamp, you end with a system. That was the easy way to explain this. It's going to be 3 days live with me, and you'll end with a clear system framework so you can compose your. So exactly what we talked about. And we're not even going to be talking about doing cold calls. So the system is not based on doing cold calling. So it's based on building a brand. It's $47. I had to put a tiny price tag to bootcamp to separate the ones who are serious and the ones who are not going to take action. So it's a small, tiny investment, okay? $47.99. I still think this is a small price tag, so almost everyone, hopefully, can commit to this if you're going to commit. You've got the musictomoney.com. What do you think about this domain? I don't know. It was available, so I got it. /evolve. More things. So evolve, composer to brand, all these things that I'm talking about. But what are we going to be talking about? What are we going to be learning in the bootcamp in 3 days? We can cover a lot, but exactly what we're going to be doing. So number 1, how to create a brand quickly so people contact you instead of you having to reach out to them. Number 2, how to create an automated system that keeps bringing paid opportunities to you even if you are busy composing and don't have time to look for projects, which that's what's going to happen to you. How to target, or in other words, find people that need music right now. So how to find these people? Like, you'd be amazed how the opportunities that are out there. Like for a while, I had a website that's a funnel. It's called wedding music, whatever. It's epic wedding music for a while. I'm not gonna show you how to do this, but do you know that you can target people that just got engaged? So anyway, let's continue. And there are ways for you to target people that need music right now. How? You get creative. Anyway, we'll talk about this. How to transfer authority from bigger brands to you. This helps legitimate you as a composer, and as a result, you'll get more projects, more things. How to make people remember you. And think of you first when they have a project that needs composers. Remember the automations that we talked about? Just, one of the things that worked best for me at the beginning of my composing career, it was very simple, but I didn't know how to do all these things, but I started working on projects and I had a list of clients. And one of the things that I did is, instead of sending the typical email, like the first thing that they teach when they teach you for artists how to get projects and things like this, like the low hanging fruit, right? Contact the past clients and ask them, hey, do you have a project? I think that's a little bit too aggressive. What I did, and it works great, is like you have worked with a series of clients. You've got a list. Once a month, or twice a year, once a quarter, whatever it is, you just send them like sort of like a newsletter. It's like, hey, I just did this movie. It went to Netflix, and I finished this one that went to Amazon Prime. Just wanted to let you know. And people would respond so excited. Hey, congratulations! I'm so happy for you. By the way, I'm working on a movie. It's like, I know. That's why, right? And so this works great. So I'll show you how to do these things. How to validate and legitimate you as a composer even if you don't have credits yet. Understand the secret behind how to make more money as a composer. How to create a pool of clients so you don't have to worry when the next project or paycheck is going to come from. What else? How to keep yourself accountable, to keep going in your journey as a composer and not procrastinate, because that's something that it's built in our DNA, at least for me. So when you need to focus on that one thing, when you need to ruthlessly focus on the one thing that's going to move the needle forward. So how to do this. And even if you feel more comfortable working with composers and musicians, how to make money within the music niche or the music industry, how to create the accountability system to help you move forward when you get stuck. We will share 6 ways or frameworks to generate 20K as a composer, not 1, but 6, meaning each one can potentially generate 20K a year, all right? So systems that could generate you 20K a year. So you just choose the one that works best for you or that resonate more with you. How to get or build the tools and systems that you need to create these frameworks. So I'll explain all this, and you'll end the bootcamp with a clear step-by-step plan. Yeah, so this is very important for me, very important. How many of you have gone to events where you are in the event and you are so excited. You're like, oh, this is awesome. I'm learning so much. And then you leave the event and you're back home. It's like, fuck, what do I do now? Like, oh my God, where do I even start? I hate that. So we're going to do the complete opposite here. What we're going to do is you'll end the bootcamp with a clear step-by-step plan, designed specifically so you know exactly what to do. I want clarity. We are busy enough. I want to end an event with clarity around it. I don't need to be excited. I don't need people to excite me. I need to have a plan and to end there and to be grounded and knowing exactly how I'm going to proceed. I included it's a 12-page workbook. So because again, it's designed so you follow the steps. So questions: what happens if I cannot attend? We'll stream it in the group and the replay will stay there for a week or so. All right, so we can see if there's one day that you cannot attend, then you will not to worry. All right, so take action and register now for the 3-day live bootcamp. I'm just going to say this. How many of you felt this was useful? Like you discovered some new concepts or it opened your mind? Any of you? Put it in the chat, please. Yes, awesome, fantastic, great. How many of you felt something? Like something within, you felt energized, or you felt maybe there's a way here, or you connected somehow with me or with someone in the audience. Me, all right, just imagine 3 days of this. How awesome would that be? All right, that's what I was trying to say. So it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I know I use very basic words. Awesome, fun. I repeat this a lot, but it's going to be a blast. All right. So go ahead, enroll now. $47.99. Let me just move this out of the way. It's musictomoney.com/evolve. What if I don't like the class? That's perfectly fine. Just ask for a refund. Okay. If after the first day you're like, dude, I paid you $47 and all the things that you've given me is not worth the value of this. We'll find the money. Why? Because we're gonna work with happy people. That's it. Simple as that. And because you feel protected, right? So there's no risk. So when is that? So it's gonna be 3 days. It's gonna be Tuesday the 13th from 9 to 2 p.m. Then we're gonna do Wednesday 14th from 9 to 1 p.m. And this day I have to leave a little bit early because I didn't plan this the right way. I've got my kids dancing, they are 3 and 4 at recital. And so I have to go. So that's the rehearsal, and the next then is the recital. But we've got plenty of hours, so we've got enough time to cover everything that I want to cover and give you everything that you need. What's included for this? Well, you've got the 10 hours or so. I'm gonna give you an extra ticket for a friend, so invite a friend. So you get 2 tickets for the price of 2, the workbook, the mastermind, meaning we're gonna set up a school group for all of us to hang out, network, and collaborate and discuss the things that we are learning. Bring a friend, free ticket included is the best way to stay accountable, and it's a way to challenge each other to apply the concept that you learn, but this makes it doubles the fun. Can I do this by myself? Like what you have learned today, you've got enough information to say, you know what, this makes sense, what this guy shared with me, I'm gonna apply this, and most likely you are going to succeed. If you showed up today in this room, it means that you are in search of something, and you took action. It respects you so much. You actually saw something 7 days in advance. I'm gonna go to this webinar thing, and you actually came. This means that you took action, you took the first step. So could you do this by yourself? Yes, 100%. It may take you more time. Now here's the slide where I show how much money I spend in shit like this, and we're talking like marketing stuff. I've been part of Russell Branson's Inner Circle, $50,000 a year, Sam Ovens, the Quantum Mastermind, 36K, all these things. I spend a lot of money. You would say that I'm an easy sell. Yes. You could say that at the same time, I do think that a mentor can make me go way faster. So I invested money to get the resources or the knowledge so I can apply it faster, so I can build the infrastructure that I want to build, so I can serve to this community and make the world a better place. That's it. And I'm going to be this kind of like simplifying everything that I've learned. The most difficult thing about this is that when you join these groups, they talk about marketing, business, but we are very different. We artists are very, very different. Like if you are in this journey of I want to be a composer and I want to make money, because I deserve it. You infuse a little bit of entrepreneurial personality into the artist that you are. And that's just an explosive combination. It's very interesting. We are not operators, we are not integrators. And so the way we get marketed and the way that we market is very different. We speak to emotions. We don't speak to, oh, you're gonna make so much money, you're gonna buy the Lambo, blah, 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 the bullshit, the BS that's around us like in every YouTube video. You wanna make money? We don't care about that. Money doesn't flash in front of our eyes. It's important, but we do something else. So you've seen me doing the mistake, like this HSSM course that I mentioned, the Hollywood System Secret Masterclass. When I presented it to the world the first time, I did ads in the pitch. I can remember I launched it to the entire list, 40,000 people at a time, and one person bought. Wrong message. So you can learn all these things. Yes, most of the people teaching this marketing, branding stuff are B2B, business to business type of people that are going to so it needs a translation. So you can do it, but I did the translation for you. And with this, I'm going to finish, and hopefully this is going to make you feel good whether you enroll or not. I was gonna say I don't care. I do care. I do care about you and your career and your journey as a composer, and I want you to enjoy it. But regardless if you enroll or not. But I just wanted to explain why am I doing this. And I kind of introduced this concept earlier to the question why I didn't push hard into the traditional path, like doing more movies. In Spanish, we've got this like, un artista se debe a su público. We've got like an artist owes it to their audience. And that's what I believe. Think about this for a second. An artist owes it to their audience. I think our art should be out there and more people are going to listen to our music if they resonate with it. But there are going to be people that no matter what type of music you write, they're going to like it, they're going to love it. Now, if you are trying to get projects, movies, and you show your music to someone else, sometimes they're gonna judge, yes, you are ready, no, you are not ready. And I personally, I don't like this. And I watched this movie, like I was yesterday, and I had to include this slide. Sing 2. Most likely you've seen the movie. There's the bad guy, Jimmy Crystal. And this is the guy that has the power. Yes, no, yes, no, type of thing. And there's a moment when the protagonist, right, like the main characters, he was like, oh my gosh, I discovered something in these guys. And he gives them an opportunity and gives them the infrastructure, resources, everything to, they are artists, what they want to put together is a show. But at some point, he changes his mind, he gets upset, and he almost throws the little koala off the roof, cancels the show, destroys their dream, end of story. And you know what? I understand that. In a position of power, there's people that need to attract talent to build a bigger infrastructure. It's always going to be there. But in my opinion, I think it's not fair that there's not another way that gives you the power back, in my opinion. And so what did they do? They said, you know what? We're gonna go behind your back. We're gonna do the concert anyway, or the show anyway, and we will let the audience judge. And obviously it's an illumination movie, it's Hollywood, so happy ending, obviously they succeeded, everyone loved them, but it's a metaphor of what I'm saying. You build the audience. What happened after this? You know, other venues started calling them, hey, do you want to do the show here, there? Why? Because they built a stage, they built an audience, and now they have power. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about. And obviously, it doesn't take 5 days to build, it takes longer to build, but it's worth getting started. I think that we all deserve this. You deserve this. Just think for a second about this. Don't you think you deserve, like, I'm a lawyer, and I deserve getting paid, and I get paid. But I'm a composer, and it's hard to make a living out of this. Why? Because we love what we do, and then we give up on the money side of things. The lawyers are there because of the money, so they build like a system so they get paid, and a system so that you need the lawyer. But we know because we love this so much. It's like, oh, I don't have money, it's okay, I'll do it because I'm passionate. Yes, and then people with power sees that, it's like, okay, fantastic, great, lower price, great, bigger profits for me. But I think that we deserve being able to do this because we love it and still make a living. Way too many composers at heart, right, settle for a 9-to-5 job because they don't see a financial feasible alternative. And I'm here to change this. Pretty bold statement, but we're going to do this together. But I cannot do this if you don't take action. Join now, enroll now, let's do this together. Let's build the system together during the next 3 days. Go to musictomoney.com/evolve. Let's rock and roll. Thanks for the nice comments. I appreciate it so much. Have a blessed day. Have a great week. It's been an honor. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
All right. I hope that you enjoyed the class. Thanks for watching till the end. I appreciate your time. I hope that you enjoyed, hope that you got some value from the class. If you want to enroll to the 3 days live event, link in the description, and I'll see you next week or next month. Bye.